Hey everybody, it's Pastor Alex from Community Protestant Church in Mundelein. It is a special joy to be asked by Rabbi Ari to share with you the significance of Jerusalem in Christian believers. And a special shout out to all you 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders at Congregation or Shalom. Good to be with you this morning. First, we should say that Christian Bible is made up, 3/4 of the Christian Bible comes from the Hebrew Scriptures. That's the fat part here. So we share all of those stories in common with you. The establishment of Jerusalem as the capital by King David, the building of the temple by Solomon, the Babylonian exile and the rebuilding of the temple, those are all part of our history too. We see them as a part of our history. Second, Jerusalem is important because it plays a role in the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus. We believe that he was presented at the temple there by his parents after his birth in Bethlehem, that he went there for Passover with his parents and got a little separated and lost, and they found him teaching in the temple among the religious scholars of the day. Of course, it would play a big role in the end of his earthly life. He arrived there with his disciples on Palm Sunday. He caused a commotion in the temple, protesting the profits made by those who were changing money or selling animals for sacrifice. Of course, he would institute Holy Communion there, the sacrament for Christians that's sometimes known as the Last Supper or the Lord's Supper at the Passover meal in Jerusalem with his disciples, and it's one that continues to this day. Also, he would be betrayed by a disciple in the Garden of Gethsemane, arrested. He'd be questioned by Pilate and Herod, and then sentenced to death. He was crucified at Golgotha on the edge of the city there and died. He was buried in a tomb nearby, and Christians believe that on the 3rd day, he rose from that tomb. And that is an important part in Christian theology and a part of our story that is the most important part. We also believe that Jerusalem was important because it is a part of the early church formation as well. Jesus appeared to his disciples there. The Holy Spirit was received by the disciples at Pentecost with tongues of fire over their head, and it empowered them to proclaim the good news to people of all nations, and they could speak all these different languages. They also witnessed Jesus' ascension into heaven there at the Mount of Olives, and that left the mission of Jesus' mission to the church, these new believers. He said, it's up to you now to go out into the world and continue the mission that I have begun. Jerusalem continues to be important in the life of Christian believers, even though the Christian faith spread mostly in Gentile areas, but Christians want to go to Jerusalem and experience all of these places that are so important for themselves so that they can connect these stories with real places, and it's something that Christians continue to make a pilgrimage to or hope to someday like me. So I hope that this helps you to understand the role of Jerusalem in Christian belief. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.